Welcome back to WWE 2K25 Universe Mode. It's time for some NXT, and as usual, we have a hell of a show in store for you. First up, North American title triple threat final qualifier match. Eddy Thorpe takes on a mystery opponent. Wendy Chu takes on JC Jane after that. Then we've got Luke Gallows taking on Duke Hudson, Blair Davenport and Gigi Dolan, and in our main event, a street fight. Ignore that it says falls count anywhere, it's a street fight. Femi and Tyler Bate. Let's waste no time, get into this and see who Eddy Thorpe is facing. Here we go. Winner joins Charlie Dempsey and Shawn Spears at NXT Battleground in a few weeks' time for the NXT North American Championship. Eddy Thorpe looking to be that third man in that match, looking to get off to a good start here in Universe Mode. Someone who I personally like a lot. I do hope that he does well. But he will have to get past a mystery opponent. Of course, last week, a backstairs parking lot brawl between Andre Chase and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the OC, took Chase out. He was supposed to face Eddy Thorpe here, unable to compete here tonight. More on that a little later. But let's find out if Eddy Thorpe can get past his mystery opponent and advance to Battleground. Alright, who will Eddy Thorpe be taking on here tonight? And it was a fun thought while it lasted, Eddy Thorpe. He has to face the largest man in all of NXT. 7 foot something, gotta be north of 350 pounds. Omos, someone who could do some heavy, pun not intended, damage to the NXT roster this season. Eddy Thorpe is hoping to pray to whoever will listen that he can get past this monster. North American title implications on the line. Winner joins, again, Charlie Dempsey and Shawn Spears at Backlash. Dempsey defeated Javon Evans. Shawn Spears took down Tyler Breeze. Eddy Thorpe looking to do the impossible here, but it is not a good start for Eddy Thorpe. Just taken down right away from a single gut punch from Omos, who towers over Eddy Thorpe. Eddy Thorpe is not a small man. I will have to get my fact checkers on this real quick. Eddy Thorpe he's not small. He is not a cruiserweight. He is a relatively big guy. He is 6 foot tall. Eddy Thorpe, not one to be messed with. He is, at worst, an average size for a competitor here in NXT, but Omos makes him look like a child. Thorpe takes the clothesline to Omos, who is barely phased. Oh, just wrenching in on the traps of Thorpe, and that is going to just wear him down to his knees. And Omos lets him fall. You know that Charlie Dempsey and Shawn Spears have to be praying and hoping that Eddy Thorpe can somehow pull off a victory. And that says so much about Omos, who almost falls but stays on his feet. Because Eddy Thorpe is a hell of a competitor. He's here in a bear hug now. That could be all she wrote. But no, he fights out. Thorpe is not going to go down that easily. But it says a lot about Omos when Dempsey and Spears have to be hoping that Eddy Thorpe is the victor. Thorpe, an incredible competitor in his own right, as these two are just gonna trade strikes. Thorpe, maybe not the wisest move here, he's a good striker, but Omos, his hands are about the size of Eddy Thorpe's head. Thorpe is staying in, though. He's staying in the fight. Eddy Thorpe, you gotta think he feels a little robbed here. He was supposed to take on Andre Chase, did not know his opponent going into this match, and now he has to fight a 7'5" monster. They're just gonna trade blows. Eddy Thorpe is hanging in there, but just gets pushed off, and Omos is just gonna go for a big backbreaker. Ouch. Go for the cover now, does Omos. 1, 2, no! Eddy Thorpe! He's got some fight left in him, does Eddy Thorpe. Omos is going to lift him up now. Irish whip. Oh, just a choke bomb, and then a choke, sent him down with almost a choke clothesline, choke slam. 1, 2, Eddy, he lives, and he keeps up. The nerve of Eddy Thorpe, the determination of this man to stay alive here, but he just gets lifted up. Big standing power slam, 1 foot on the chest. 1, 2, Omos is going to Battleground. Eddy Thorpe, for all the credit it's worth, put up a fight. But you can't really blame him for losing in an impromptu match to a man like Omos. Dempsey and Spears have to be sweating right now at the prospect of taking this man down. In a few weeks' time, at NXT Battleground, you could very well be looking at the North American Champion as we move on to the rest of our show. Our first contest for NXT Battleground is set. For the North American Championship, it will be Charlie Dempsey, Shawn Spears, and Omos. Huge victory for the Giant there as we move on. Wendy Choo takes on JC Jane. Wendy Choo took out Kalani Jordan last week, of course. We are currently in the process of investigating the Wendy Choo curse that led to multiple competitors in last week's, or the opening NXT's Battle Royal, mysteriously leaving the ring. JC Jane being one of those. She feels as if she's owed something. Takes on Wendy Choo and falls to Wendy Choo. Choo is just on a roll here in NXT thus far. It's not really, she didn't win the Battle Royal. She's not in the NXT Women's Championship match next week. But she is taking down all of those who she inadvertently maybe, screwed out of that championship match as well. We are, of course, looking far into that. As we move on, Luke Gallows and Duke Hudson, one-on-one action. Of course, last week, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows ambushed Andre Chase backstage in the parking lot. Duke Hudson, not too happy about that. Wasn't on site. He had the week off, as did fellow Chase U member Thea Hale. Andre Chase was supposed to face Eddy Thorpe. I'm sure Eddy Thorpe is really mad at the OC right now, but of course was not clear to compete nor be here tonight. Duke Hudson going at it alone against Luke Gallows as he looks to avenge Mr. Chase, and he does so. Defeats Luke Gallows one-on-one, despite Carl Anderson trying to interfere and turn the tides in favor of Gallows. Duke Hudson embodies the spirit of Chase U. In our co-main, or semi-main event, I should say, Blair Davenport, Gigi Dolan. Davenport, of course, will face Roxanne Perez in next week's main event for the NXT Women's Championship. Gigi Dolan lost to Roxanne Perez, put up a hell of a fight, just came up short, could have been facing Davenport next week, but instead, this serves as somewhat of a warm-up match for Blair Davenport. But Dolan gets the victory. Roxanne Perez, of course, if you remember, this happened last week as well. Perez distracts Davenport, allowed her to lose to Jada Parker last week. Gigi Dolan this week. Lot of worthy contenders for the NXT Women's Championship. We'll find out who the inaugural champion will be next week. Now, before our main event, we have a big announcement. The NXT Championship will be determined at Battleground. That will be determined in a tournament, an 8-man tournament. We can flash that up on the screen right now as we discuss. You can see all of the participants here. But consider tonight's main event, the street fight between Femi and Tyler Bate, as somewhat of a play-in for this match. The winner of this will take on Lexus King in the first round of the tournament. Big sort of ongoing blood feud between these two. We will find out in hopefully the last chapter of this, possibly the last chapter of this. Next time one of these men will be in the ring, it will be for the NXT Championship tournament. But let's find out which one it will be. Massive main event here tonight. Winner advances to the NXT title tournament starting next week. Femi is here. Of course, this man has lost twice in 2 weeks to Tyler Bate, someone who he expected to not really give him that much of a challenge. He wanted to fight. Femi came up short. Bate rolled him up. Of course, got absolutely annihilated after the bell both times, but Femi has lost twice to someone he views as inferior. Dressed to fight here in this street fight here tonight. If anything is different from in-universe mode, to sort of peel back the curtain for a sec, I have to do this in play, because for some reason in universe mode attires are still broken and you just can't use certain alt attires because they won't work. Fix your game, 2K, but that doesn't matter as the ruler enters the arena. The fight to begin shortly as he will take on this man who has gotten the upper hand on him 2 weeks in a row. Tyler Bate, someone who maybe wasn't viewed as a potential contender going into this season, as he is dressed repping his good buddy Pete Dunne with the shirt, also dressed for a big street fight here tonight. Tyler Bate, someone who potentially was viewed as maybe a North American title guy at best, an enhancement guy, someone to give people a good fight but not have much success, and Bate is rebuking those narratives early on into the season. Another big win, a third big win over Femi, one which would keep him out of the NXT title tournament, could do wonders for his career here. Tyler Bate, Femi, this one is a street fight. Spot in the NXT title tournament on the line. This one can end anywhere. It can end in the middle of the ring. It can end at ringside. It can end backstage. It can end in the parking lot. It can end all the way up in Atlanta if these two guys want to keep fighting until then. Femi taking advantage right now. Both of these men, that's the thing. Even if there wasn't a bid for the NXT title tournament on the line, these two would still be tearing each other to shreds. These guys have developed such a visceral hatred of each other. Big sort of sliding uppercut there from Femi. These two, the big man goes up top. Bate is prone. Big splash from Femi. He's gonna go for the cover early. He just wants to put Bate away. 1, 2, no. Tyler Bate almost took the big loss there. These two roll out. Bate kips up. He's gonna go after Femi now, but Femi just tosses him aside. But these guys, lot on the line now. The stakes are even higher as Femi gets a kendo stick. Femi just, Bate rolls out. Bate grabs him. Roll up. Imagine how embarrassing it would be for Femi to lose here. Femi counters the roll up. It's going to be another 1, 2. No, Bate gets out. Tyler Bate winning here would be insane. I mean, keeping Femi, keeping a threat like Femi, someone who I think many expected to dominate the NXT title picture, keeping him out of the inaugural tournament for good would be absurd. Would be incredible for Tyler Bate's career, even if he doesn't go far in the tournament, as you know what this is, that airplane spin that Bate loves so much. Winner of this match will take on Lexus King in, I believe, 2 weeks' time, and he's going to spin it around. The core strength of Tyler Bate to lift a man the size and stature of Femi up so high and for so long. Bate's going to go into the cover. The ref is doing way too much. Femi doesn't even get the kick out. We gotta do something about these referees, man. That could have been a 2 or maybe even a 3 if the ref wasn't doing all that. Bate is gonna keep the fight going though. He's wrenching in that submission hold. Got the knee on the small of Femi's back. Femi breaks out. Oba is gonna take control now, sends Bate into the stairs. Femi yet to use weapons. Goes for another cover. 1. Ref's not even looking at him. He only gets a 1 count there. Interesting sort of dynamic this match has had thus far. I'm a little surprised, admittedly. These guys, the way they have been feuding for the last couple weeks, you'd expect them to just be tearing each other apart, but they're both going for quick victories. That just goes to show the importance of getting into this NXT title tournament. Both of these guys feel like not being included would be a snub. They're both fighting for this. Femi takes it back into the ring now. The referee intercepts him there. Femi back in anyways. Femi, he's lining Bate up. Lifts him up. Fall from grace. That could be it for Tyler Bate. 1, 2. Femi advances. Makes quick work of his rival in this street fight. Not much of a street fight, more of a brawl. As the ruler advances, he will take on Lexus King in the NXT title tournament, and he locks Tyler Bate out. But that being said, it's not over for Tyler Bate. He still has 2 victories over Obafemi. But right now, Obafemi has the one that matters the most. The lights go down on another incredible episode of NXT. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time for SmackDown.